Hi, this is Allison Lee Rosenfeld, and you may know me as the voice of Bonnie from Pokémon, and you are watching Anime Egotists. Will you please take care of my big brother? Happy watching!
And welcome back to the Anime Egotists, where they would not put us in charge in Pokemon Conquest.
No, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, it really is. But anyways, my name's Alex, and I'm sad that we never got a sequel to Shaolin Showdown. Just 3 seasons and there's nothing else.
Yeah, it was such a good show.
Don't
Never to continue.
I know I haven't been introduced yet, but I love Shaolin Showdown so much. The amount of times that I scream Tangled Webcomb when I'm doing stuff is astronomical. Like, I'm always screaming Fist of Tebigong doing nothing. It's like...
I did too, and there's a good reason my parents were like, you shouldn't be watching this show anymore. And I'm like, it's fine, whatever.
And did you play the game on PS2? That game was lit.
Still have it. Still have it.
I love that game.
But sadly, we're not here to talk about Shaolin Showdown. I mean, maybe someday, but we'll talk maybe someday. Hey, we're here to talk about Pokemon, which y'all should be used to at this point. I'm sorry. But when it comes to Pokemon, Richard, you and I have talked about what-ifs a lot. What if Ash left? What if Lucas was in the anime? Just a whole bunch of other scenarios. Isn't that right? We do this a lot, don't we?
Yeah, maybe a little too much. I don't know.
I've seen the views of how people react to those videos. Trust me, we don't do them enough at this point. But regardless, a lot of people love Pokemon contests, aka the Wallace Cup. The Wallace Cup was pretty cool, but we've only gotten one on screen lately. That's kind of weird, isn't it, Richard?
Yeah, I feel like this was besides maybe the Battle Frontier, this was the favorite extra kind of thing that you could do as a Pokemon career, I guess, in the series, or as a Pokemon trainer.
Exactly. But we decided to create our own Wallace Cup, basically a sequel. Characters, stories, hopefully some good stuff, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm hoping this will be good.
Yeah, but before we begin, this is a pretty large task, and Richard, you and I are not known for being good at stuff, so we had to call in a favor. We're not alone this week, are we?
Nope.
That is correct. So, ladies, gentlemen, and others, this man has joined us. This man who has his own channel dissecting what in the world is the paradox phenomenon. Other different types of fossil Pokemon that could be introduced. His favorite Pokemon is Totodile, which gained some points with Richard, I'll admit, that does help. But he has his own podcast featuring people like Starmeister, Luap, our good buddy Poke Furlax, but most importantly, just a cool dude all around. Ladies and gentlemen, and others, strong style, Totodile, Ichiban, I don't know why I'm doing this, Espy, JuJu.
Hey, you said strong style Totodile, and I wish that we could. I want a Legends game that has a Totodile starter so bad. So bad.
Trust me, I'm waiting for it as well.
Oh,
In about 4 to 5 years, maybe 6.
I'm hoping so bad, though. Johto needs love. Johto needs love.
Well, you guys came out with Gligar Man, so maybe not so much.
Oh, okay. Gligar Man, listen. He's the next Avengers movie has to star him. Bring him in.
You know what? Let's thanks for joining us, man. I just really appreciate having you on for this endeavor.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. And please check out all of Espy's endeavors, the podcast, the channel, the underground experiments, whatever he's up to.
Hey, there's a lot of stuff going on, but it's all good. I'm excited to be here. Focusing on this right now.
Exactly. So boys, the Wallace Cup. Who should be in it? Because I feel like that's the question that everybody's been focusing on. Who is in this Wallace Cup?
Drew.
Sure. Yeah, Drew works. He doesn't make me sick anymore as much. But
That's
yeah,
Alex's favorite character. For those of you that are just watching, if you're here watching because I'm here, that's Alex's favorite Pokemon character.
If my favorite, you mean if he fell off a bridge, I'd be cool with it. Then yeah, sure, absolutely.
Because he wants to be at the bottom of the bridge, catching him, caressing him in his arms.
As long as I can hit him with an RKO as he's falling, I'm good.
Oh no, it's Randy Orton.
Yeah, it was me this whole time. But besides Drew, we also had a couple of other people. At least I did.
Mhm.
May, Dawn, Zoe. Oddly enough, I made a list of people, but for some reason, Kenny did not make that list.
I put him on there just because, and that's mainly so he could lose in the appeals round.
Oh, classic Kenny. You guys remember, so the first Wallace Cup, you think back, you remember Kyle, that dude
Yes.
that only used water Pokemon?
With that pompadour thing, yeah.
Like, for no reason, they were like, and this is Kyle. And then he just trashes on Ash. That's like his whole being, like, reason for existence is to be like, you're dumb and your Weasel's dumb.
And then he wins. That kind of makes it worse.
Yeah.
And you see Kenny watching in the background, and you're like, oh, he's not competing in this. Okay, curious choice, but I don't know. It feels like a lot of people don't like Kenny, and I don't love him, but I'm also just like, he's there.
As I said, he's in there just to lose in the appeals round. But
Yeah.
There's other characters I thought should be in there. We know Serena went off and did contests, so she should show up.
Absolutely have to talk about Serena.
I threw this in kind of in the Journey's timeline, so I threw in Chloe. If she got more development, I think this might be a good chance for her.
Okay, thank you. I was curious how we felt about that. So people who watch my channel know I'm not a big Chloe fan. I just did not like the way they could have progressed her character more. They gave her she could have had a character arc instead of a character straight line or a character deep dive that did nothing and got nowhere. But it'd be pretty cool for her to come back and actually do something with the Wallace Cup. You know, if we would have gotten a new evolution or something like that, they definitely could have used that. But no.
Oddly enough, I kind of had her as the main character of this. Like, she's the first person to be like, oh, hey, there's these contests kind of happening, so you're getting an invitation to the Wallace Cup. So, go nuts.
Main character, that's wild.
Oh, trust me. I never said how well she does, so at least she's like, she shows up and she's the person, like the first person you see, and then we slowly meet everybody else.
So, in this headspace, in your headcanon that you've got built here with Koharu killing it, what is what's the team? Is she only rocking the one Eevee still? Or
I want her to use Yamper.
Yamper?
Somebody
comes back and she's rocking Unfezant.
Unfezant? I wouldn't hate that, honestly.
Hey. I mean, I'd be down. She should have caught that. It's like the second time, it's like the same thing with like May and Swablu when it's like, okay, why did we not let them catch this? This is just pointless writing at this point.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Swablu, I do have somebody with an Altaria, and that's Licia.
Licia's got to be in there. She was my main star in my little rankings. I was like, you have to pick Licia, right? I mean, like, she's last time we even saw her, she was with Wallace, right? Like that whole episode was tied together for them too.
That's right. And apparently in Pokemon Masters, she calls him Uncle Wall, which
Uncle Wall.
So I also included Jesse and James, both disguised as some of Jesse's old characters, so like Jesselina and Jezebel or something.
Yeah, Jesselina, I think is what she's using in this one, in the original Wallace Cup anyways.
I kind of like to think that James does better somehow.
Well, that's actually what I put in my story, is that Jesse doesn't even make it through the first round and James wins, and they just can't get a point where they can switch back.
That happens at some point in the actual anime, though, where like James, he's using like Wobbuffet or something like that, and like he dazzles some. I can't remember what season it is, but I know that James beats her one time when they're trying to get food. Like the victory is food, and he's like, I'm all in.
Yeah. Oh, also, I guess we should include. We're forgetting about some of my favorite rivals, Harley and Ursula, because I feel like this arc needs a villain or two, or I guess just
love Ursula so much.
Ursula has a weird hold on me because I used to despise her, but then I got older. I'm like, no, this girl's hilarious, but I don't think that's why I like her.
She's awesome. I love Ursula. Again, the team. You got to wonder about the team. I'm so curious about what her team would be.
actually kind of had an idea with that. I had an
Hit me
idea
up.
that I gave everybody who I put on my list, and I even have like a one-off character who showed up in one episode. I gave them a new Pokemon because it seems kind of weird how they're all still using their same team. And for Ursula, I gave a female Meowstick because apparently they're just incredibly selfish.
Ooh, I can see that. I like that. I like that.
But for some reason, they work incredibly well together.
Absolutely. That'd be awesome.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that'd be great. That'd be cool. Meowstick's such a good fit.
Okay, but I did put in one character that would just be a one-off, and that's Ren with Francois the Magnemite. He has to be contested in this.
Well, he would have to win, wouldn't he?
Francois the Magnemite, of course.
Oh, I love Francois.
That was again, that's another thing that I felt I really wish we would have gotten more of in Journeys, was more development on there. Because I really liked Francois and Ren. And I liked the Megamite, or whatever you want to call it.
I really want to see what that was going to turn into.
I know, right? When the pictures leaked, everyone was like, "What is this? They're showing a new form. This is crazy." Because Pokemon anime Twitter goes, the second that there's a little hint of something, they're like, "All right, gonna lose my mind."
Yeah, like the hint of Ash's son running around, even though nothing's been confirmed yet. Guys, relax, please.
Yeah.
We'll get to that eventually.
Is there anybody else? Because I want to say Nando, but part of me is like, if he doesn't win, I would just be sad.
Ooh, Nando. It's pretty good. That's not bad. That's not
Heck,
bad.
I want Nando to have Poplio or Primarina, whichever one, because they sing all the time.
So here's the thing. I want the return of contests more, and not just like side character stuff. So I'm saying we need to either put Roy or Liko in this. Drop them in. Let's get some Paldean conquest, some contest people. Let's make it happen.
Works for me because, in all honesty, it's kind of weird. This got popular, and then they just suddenly decide to say, no, we're good. We're done doing this.
I know, and they used to be so beautiful. And like when they let Serena come back in this and Journeys, it looked good again. But like, we could have so much of that.
Yeah. Not to if anything, even if you said, you know what, don't put this in Journeys, and I've talked about this before, if Ash isn't involved in this, you could just bring back Pokemon Chronicles, but hey, what do I know? It's not
Pokemon Chronicles. Don't get me started on Chronicles, baby. I love Chronicles.
Wow, except for the one episode where Professor Oak wrote a love poem about Ash's mom. That was weird. That was like, no.
They were just giving the fans what they wanted.
Is that what they wanted?
Dad Oak. Everyone wants it.
No.
He went back in time in the fourth movie and met his son.
That was, oh God, I want to have you on to talk about one of the movies, because some of those movies are awesome, but
have me on to talk about all of the movies, because I've seen all of them and I love them. I like the third movie and the fourth movie and Pokemon Heroes, the fifth movie. I'm all about those.
What do you think of the
5? All slapped so much.
Now, what's your opinion on the 9th movie? Because that might make it the one that has a problem.
You son of a...
Yeah, no, that one's not for me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You've redeemed yourself with the Drew comment. Welcome aboard.
There we go. Woo.
But the thing is, I did have one mini story for the minorest of minor characters.
Okay, hit it.
Do you guys remember in the Battle Frontier season, do you remember that girl, Brianna, who May went up against?
Not really, but...
That one's not coming to mind for me.
Okay, so she had like this short reddish hair, and in one episode she gave a rose and a note to May, and May's like, oh, obviously this is from Drew because he has flowers, and Drew's like, no, that's not me. She was the one who had all of Drew's Pokemon, but in a previous evolutionary stage. Like, she had Vibrava instead of Flydon, she had Surskit instead of Masquerain, that sort of thing.
Okay, I don't remember her, no.
Okay, I really didn't want to bring this up, but if the only other key thing was she had a huge crush on Drew, like she obsessed over him, that sort of thing.
That makes sense. That checks out.
Yeah, but honestly, I would have her in, but get eliminated very early. But the story is she goes up against Drew, but instead of falling over him head over heels, she's kind of reserving herself, like, hey, I have to win this, because if I win, I can impress him, and if I keep, like, obsessing over him, my Pokemon are going to suffer. obviously Drew wins, and he basically just reaffirms that she's gotten a lot better. It's just a mini story.
That's fair. I like it. You know who would
Yeah.
kill contests? Who would absolutely do super good?
Ooh.
Olivia from Kalos. You said Surskit. You remember whenever like in the Kalos season when Surskit fought Grant's Onyx and was skirting around and on the ice? That thing was awesome.
That thing was ridiculous, but I loved it.
That thing would dominate contests.
I thought you were gonna say Clement, but I was about to be like, wouldn't he just freeze up? Because no, he would just freeze up and it would be horrible for him.
100%. No. She'd kill it.
Yeah. But honestly, here the problem is, I have stories for a lot of different people. But Richard, didn't you say you had a story for one of our favorite characters, Harley?
Yes. So I would actually, of course, he had his whole back and forth with May, and that was his whole big dynamic, wanting kind of revenge against her. I forgot what exactly it was about.
There was a girl who looked just like her who ate his snacks when he was younger. It wasn't her, but I don't know.
That's
okay. Fine. But I pretty much have it so that, because it's actually, I think, a good way of starting Chloe's story. Ash and Go run off without her. That's just how they normally are. They run off because they get excited about the contests or something. She's trying to figure out where it is and runs directly into Harley. And Harley does what Harley does and tells her, oh, signups are over there, and points in the completely wrong direction. And
Harley was such a savage.
I respected it.
I put that luckily May comes out and saves the day. It's a good way of introducing May into this part, and I think it fits better than some of the other people that Chloe could run into right away.
Oh, it's the Princess of Hoenn, so that sort of thing. Okay, I guess I kind of had the same idea, but the kind of thing is, whenever May would always be like, "But why would you do that to me?" But we've seen what Chloe gets like when people like really get on her nerves, so she could basically terrify him. Like the flames could shoot up behind her. We're all just like, "Harley, you're on your own. See ya."
Well, that's the thing. Once May directs Chloe to the right location and reveals that Harley kind of can't be trusted, that's where Chloe, her entire goal may not be to win the contest because she's relatively new to this when compared to a lot of these other people, but she wants to beat Harley. She has to beat Harley is her goal.
Works for me, but does she win?
The whole contest or beat Harley?
No, I mean, does she beat Harley?
Well, into an inch of his life, yes.
Goodness gracious.
I forgot how stacked Harley's team is. I'm looking at it right now. He's got some good mons. He also has an Octillery, which is great. I didn't remember him having an Octillery until right now, but I do now.
I remember his Wigglytuff, I will say that. And I was like, oh, it looks so sweet. Oh god, this thing is glaring at me. Keep it away.
It's like how like Harrison has a Miltank, but everyone forgets that because it showed up for like 0.2 seconds in one episode. It's like, look, Harrison has a Miltank. Either way.
There's another Miltank. No, we don't want to remind the viewers of what happens when you battle a Miltank. Just get out of here. No, not happening. But I'm gonna be honest. The person I probably have the most like overarching story for is probably Licia.
Okay.
There we go. Yes.
Her story is basically like, we all know Licia. She's very friendly, kind of a tad over the top, and in some cases, like I've said, to me, she feels kind of insane. But to me, I kind of like her story to be, she starts off like winning relatively easily, but she kind of thinks to herself, as Wallace's niece, a part of me kind of feels like I have to win in some cases. Kind of like with the Masters 8 with Raihan, except like Licia doesn't punch holes in the wall or anything like that. But she's just she kind of thinks to herself, I have to win. And then maybe towards the end part, somebody says, you're not battling with your heart, you're battling with your head. And that it kind of snaps her out of it.
Let's have Mr. Contesta come in and be in the contest himself.
Works for, I don't know why, but I liked him. His suit was amazing.
Oh, he was hilarious. Mr. Contesta is
well, awesome. in the contest, then who are our judges besides Wallace? Wallace has to be one of the judges.
Well, Nurse Joy, of course, because there was always a Nurse Joy. Wallace, Nurse Joy,
Wallace, and the key guy from Kalos that did that had the clef key around him at all times.
Works for me. Yep.
I had the very heavy French accent.
That's right. I'm perfectly okay with him as long as we don't have the other guy. We're good. So, Mr. Contesta, the guy with the accent, and Nurse Joy. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Who put Gligar Man in?
Gligar
Man's in this contest.
Not me, because I would have started crying because you would have assumed something was wrong with me. Richard would have
Gliscor could do so good. It'd do work in here.
Yeah, but no.
We don't get enough Sandstorm Pokemon in contest.
Sandstorm. Well, we can't see anything, so I guess you're disqualified. Sorry.
It's going really good in here. It looks really pretty.
Yeah, you just see somebody with those opera glasses. Like, yeah, I can't see anything with these. Why'd you bring those?
It's fine.
Why not? But I did have one Pokemon for. Oh God, we forgot Zoe.
No, you mentioned Zoe being in the contest.
Did
it's
I?
like the opera goggles, but it's go-go goggles like you wear around 216.
Oh God. Anyways, I want Zoe to have a cast form.
Okay.
Cast form would be
because
great.
With all the rain and the different conditions and stuff, it could adapt ridiculously well, and somebody would eventually have to counter it. Because to be honest, I want Dawn to beat Zoe because I just feel like that would be a good moment for Dawn. I don't want her winning another Wallace Cup, and people are already disliking the video at that point. But
you just gave me such a good idea.
Go for it.
Tierno, he would tear a contest up. His Blastoise and his Raichu, and they put on a show. They'd be dancing all around, because Serena kind of danced, so like it wasn't Tierno level. Tierno would be tearing it up.
Tierno I look at Tierno and I think to myself, I'm a bigger guy, so respect Tierno. Like that, it makes me feel better.
I love it. Man, I can get behind this.
Yeah, but oh goodness. I said Zoe with cast form and that works, but I want Harley to have Tinkaton.
I can see it.
100%.
They're both have the exact same personalities. Like what do you expect?
Do you think he caught that just because May would get like a Corviknight or something?
I didn't think about that, but sure. Why? It seems like something he would do. Like he'd see her, like, oh, Corviknight. All right, I got this. 1 sec.
Well, I could see Ursula with a Corviknight. That'd be pretty dope.
Honestly, it would be. Hey, it's weird. It's sad because I have nothing for Ursula. Because to be fair, the writers didn't give her much either. They're just like, okay, Ursula, go out. Gets the finals, lose to Dawn like 3 or 4 times. She's like, but like, shouldn't I win one of those to look better? Get out.
Yeah, don't question it.
Don't question it. Go home. But ultimately, I guess in some cases, I kind of had this idea, but it's just an idea I was throwing around. It was nothing concrete. It was the idea of if you want to get in, you have to team up with each other. Like 2 people have to be on the team together. This way, you can't sabotage your own team because there's a good chance if you sabotage your own team, neither of you are getting in. So Harley has to team up with Ursula, and they just cause chaos together.
So I actually had that in my notes too. Like I said, like there should be a doubles round, like to spice something up. Like even if they don't start that way, like at some point double up, so that way we can have like a classic, like how we had with like Paul and Ash when they were forced to double up. Classic, like 2 people that just don't want to be together and one person trying to steamroll everything.
Can they
fought like Conway and Dawn or something like that?
Oh God, Conway! I know people didn't, but I loved Conway. Conway was so
great.
damn funny.
His Slowking was so good.
Use Trick Room. Yeah, what? Trick Room? Oh, that's actually kind of cool. How come nobody else does this?
He couldn't do it against Ash because Ash knows how to break Trick Room, which is just throw your bird at it real hard and it'll explode.
I mean, if it works, it works, I guess.
Hey, it worked against Valerie. Throw your bird at it.
Yeah, but ultimately, though, I do kind of feel like I do want Chloe at one point to meet up with Wallace, and because I'm trying to remember, Ash and Go met up with Wallace, but Chloe was doing something else, wasn't she?
Chloe was at that contest because she was at the contest that Licia was at, and Licia was like, let me show you stuff. And Ash was supposed to be there, but then he saw Wallace, and Wallace was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing you and your Buizel. And Ash was like, oh, that's real funny. I don't remember you. And it like destroyed Wallace's entire personality. And so he was like, fight me right now.
They just have, you guys said earlier Johto needs some love, but like I'm a Hoenn fan, so I'm kind of just there waiting on the side for scraps from the table. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool.
Wallace was such a good introduction. I know this isn't contest, I'm so sorry, but like
go for it.
They should have done more of that, where like he got the rain badge from Wallace, where he's getting these badges that you don't see, or like he's fighting new gym leaders in regions. Because like we know Kanto had way more. Gary showed that he had like 12 badges at one point. Mm-hmm. He's like, check this. So like Ash going back and having to fight these gym leaders that quote unquote were there the whole time would have been so cool and would have made the region feel really deep, in my opinion. If each region had like 16 gym leaders, but we only saw 8.
Yeah, so cool. And honestly, you could kind of make it so maybe Richie shows up and he has a bunch of different badges. Like, wait a minute, where are you getting these badges? Did you just like get them at the Arts and Crafts Fair? Like, no, there are other gyms. You know this, right, Ash? Since you won all 8, well, technically I only won like 4 of them. Okay, no, no. Get out of my face. Get out of my face.
I love Richie, man. I wish Richie came back. So I wish he was one of the final people in the Masters 8 so bad. I was like, Richie, and just it's the exact same team Ash is using.
And when the Pikachu Gigantamaxes, it still has that little mohawk fluff thing.
Yes. That'd be so good. Well, I also said multiple gym leaders, which made me think of the Galar minor league. Mm-hmm. Clara would do so good in contests, like the Poison minor league one from the Isle of Armor. I'm yes,
I remember her.
She is like, her whole aesthetic was great. Loved it.
I could see her like trying to start talking smack to like Licia or something, and Lisa's just like, okay, whatever. But deep down, she's thinking to herself, I am going to destroy you. I want to win this Wallace Cup, but oh my god, you are obnoxious.
Yeah, I mean, she's poison type. You know she'd be toxic. It'd be great. I wish we would have gotten her in there.
But instead, it's like, well, that's the thing. You two are paired together. What? Yeah, you have to win. You basically have to help her. Dazzling, dizzying, or whatever the heck Licia says. I don't know sometimes.
That'd be so good.
I'm going to be honest, a lot of people might be thinking to us, well, do you have any outfits in particular? And I'm just like, no, not really. I'm sorry.
Outfit is perfection.
Whose?
Licia.
Oh, yeah, it is. To the point where
we don't... and Dawn already have it, you know?
Yeah. And I remember seeing this, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. I remember somebody saying, well, if we get another Wallace Cup, Ash or Go should be in it, and they should wear the boys' outfit from Ruby and Sapphire. And I'm just like, no, please. I love Ash and Go especially their friendship, but I'm like, they don't need to be in this, do they? Do they actually?
Nah, and that was always so funny to me that Ash was in this one. Like, I know Wallace told him he should, but what always cracked me up is like he traded with Dawn to get Buizel because Buizel wanted to battle and not do contests, and Ash was like, that's absolutely right. So I'm going to make you do a contest. It's like, okay, thanks.
So maybe Dawn was the problem. Maybe he's like, I don't want to do contests with Dawn. Well, I don't want to say too much bad about Dawn because I feel like we've lost subscribers over Dawn before. But guys, it's fine. I saw her yesterday. She took like half my money in poker. We're good. Dawn and I are cool.
I love Dawn. It's just...
Oh, I did too, but I also feel like had we gotten a Wallace Cup, it would have fixed the majority of the problems, because it's not just, oh, hey, look, Chloe, a Badoo, but go to your contest, Dawn. Oh, look, this other Pokemon, go to your contest. Okay, no. I'm sorry, apparently it means nothing to you. This new contest just means nothing. I'm sorry, Dawn, but that's bad.
Well, when you're making millions and millions of Poké dollars off of your Baneri being a film star.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to take it as Dawn's not evolving her Baneri.
It's probably in the contract she can't.
Yeah, it's one of those like we can't let Piplup evolve because it'll become something that we don't want the fans to see. Two very different reasons, but
Yeah.
points nonetheless.
Yeah, but to be honest, I actually did have a couple of different story beats for Drew. Yeah, I'm trying to be nice today.
Yes.
Heck, Drew kind of, we all know Drew. He kind of has a way of getting under May's skin.
He's Paul. He's Paul for May. He's May's Paul.
Yeah, except like Paul was like Paul. But regardless, I get the feeling Paul, like, dang it, now I've got Paul on the mind. Way to go.
There we go.
I get
Paul's
the
in this
feeling
contest.
I get the feeling Drew would kind of see Chloe and be a little bit nicer about it. Not toxic to the point where he was kind of like with May, but just kind of be like, hey, maybe you might do a little bit of a better job if you did this with your Pokemon. If you made sure your Pokemon stood out more rather than just the moves itself. And also maybe just also a case of, hey, don't be too hard on your Pokemon, because I did that once and it cost me a grand festival. But more importantly, it almost cost me my friendship with my Absol. So just be cool to your Pokemon.
Okay.
Absol's a Pokemon that doesn't get enough love. Sorry, I just want to throw that out there. It needs more love.
Especially considering every episode of the anime, it's like, hey, that Absol's doing something wrong. Oh, no, it just turns out it was warning us of danger. This happens so many times. You'd think they'd pick up on it by now, but no.
Yeah.
No.
Especially Ash, who's seen like 6 of them. He's like, wait a minute, that's bad.
I mean, to be fair, one episode we did get Hodge back, the kid with the pompadour. So I'll take it. I'll take one more lesson just to see Hodge again.
I was gonna say, I really like Hodge. I really like his Pokemon choices. I like when people have unique choices.
Yeah.
Like was it Lucy? Is that her name from the Battle Frontier with her Seviper and stuff like that? She was clean. That Seviper was good.
And she had all these Pokemon with basically very small eyes, and that's why she had a crush on Brock. And I'm just like, Max, I might have had to stop you when you pulled his ear. I'm like, no, let him. He's got
let him
this,
cook.
Max.
Let him cook.
Let him cook. But I don't know. Sorry, Richard. Go ahead.
You brought up Max. Is he showing up as like just observing May in this contest, or is he at home still?
I like to think that she picked him up and they're traveling together again or something.
Man, I'm hoping that I'm hoping in the new Pokemon series with Roy and Liko, I'm hoping that they have like cameos from people, and it's like if we'd have a time jump, that'd be great, because then we could get like an adult Bonnie and Max, and that'd be so cool to see where they went, and like to see Max with a Gallade or Bonnie with a Zygarde.
Oh gosh, it just shows up with the Zygarde. It's the Zygarde that would cause the most destruction, but she still calls it squishy, and we're like, okay, sure, why not?
She shows up and she's got Zygarde 100% form, and she's got Ash Greninja on her other side. She's like, "This is my Pokemon now."
It's mine now. I had to get it before Go caught it. Yeah, and then the fan base is like, I mean, it's a win, but is it? Is it really? But are there any matchups that you guys want to see? Because like I said, I want Dawn to beat Zoe, and I want Dawn to beat Zoe because it feels like a long time coming.
As I said, I would want eventually a match of Chloe versus Harley, just based on the story I kind of created, where somehow Chloe outbattles Harley and gets the victory. I know it seems impossible based on her team, but
I would have argued, but at the same time, it feels like anybody can win nowadays, which is both a good and bad thing of the Pokemon world. I was honestly going to say he beats her, and right when she's feeling down, he's like, "Aren't you going to keep battling so I can keep thrashing you? We'll be one big happy family," like he said at one point, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to beat you next time," or something like that. Like I said, Harley's weird.
She could have a real good team like Penny. And Penny would also be good in content.
He would, but I have nothing for him story-wise, because his thing was just basically bullying Dawn and then saying, "I have a crush on you." And we're like, I mean, yeah, but like, you could have handled that better.
I would love for a little bit of some mind games. I would love for Drew to be winning Dawn over outside of battling, like in the mid sections, and her being like, "Wow, I'm really impressed with your stuff." Then when they battle, him showing his true colors and her being like, I hate this man and I just want to annihilate him off the face of the earth.
Works for me. Do you know who wins that?
It has to be Dawn, right? Because if Dawn beat May, which, controversial in some ways, but
story-wise, it made sense because Dawn had to regain her confidence.
I mean,
but
I get how it progressed, but like just team-wise, I'm like,
yeah. But I have a way of maybe fixing that, but I'll let you continue.
But I just think that it'd be great for her to be like, he is so good and talented, and I really like him, and then just when it's time for battling him, just trash talking nonstop, and her just obliterating Drew.
and the whole time she's like, I can't believe he was like this. And May's in the background like, I could have told you that, but
yeah.
You just see her drinking her tea. She's like, I tried to warn you, but what do I know?
Yeah.
So we mentioned having James go farther. I see Jesse losing really early, like appeals or the first round, and then James just keeps winning against like the no-name trainers or the one-offs that we see every so often, and he's just shocked. He's so confused on how he's doing this, and it's just because Morpeko keeps like destroying everything.
I was gonna have him bring back some, but like I honestly thought of his Carnivine.
Okay.
But like in the appeal round, but the appeal round isn't even necessarily, oh, look at Carnivine do all these cool moves. It's just Carnivine biting him, and the judge is like, that's so beautiful. A trainer taking all that pain that's actually love from Pokemon. Move him on. Just move him on, guys.
Chimecho would probably do pretty well in a contest, man. And
Growly?
Growly'd be doing some work.
Oh my! James might be the person to get me to cry the most amount of times in Pokemon because he just finds ways of doing it.
That's like my big thing. So like we're in real time right now. We're in this like Ash leaving arc right now. The 11 episodes of Ash departing from the anime. I really not just do I want to see more of his Pokemon. I would love to see more of Team Rocket's old Pokemon. Like if in the 11th episode Arbok and Weezing get reunited with Jesse and James, I'll probably cry for a week. I'm just going to be honest.
It's going to be the ugliest cry ever for me. We're probably going to film that day, and it's just going to be me crying, and we're not even going to be talking about Pokemon that episode. Like, so what are we talking about? And what are we talking about, Richard? It's like, we're talking about Black Clover this week. Oh, crud.
That's all I'd be talking about if that happened. I want that to happen so badly. I'm like, bring Arbok and Weezing back. Reunion. It's time.
I still think that the best way of ending their story is that they get blasted off, land in Hoenn, and discover that Weezing and Arbok need help fighting off some poachers, and they team up again, and pretty much it ends with Team Rocket being recruited as like Pokemon Rangers or something in the Hoenn region.
Yes, Pokemon Rangers. That'd be awesome.
I completely agree, but when you said they blast off and land in Hoenn, and I know you mean they're already in Hoenn and they land there, but part of my mind was thinking, oh, so they're in Unova and they already just get sent flying all the way to Hoenn and they're just dust themselves off. They're completely fine. How far did we travel? Like 3-4 regions? What? And we're still alive. Go us.
Hey, I mean, the amount of damage that they take and have no sort of injuries from is astronomical.
But you said, Espy, did you say you had something for Serena? Because I thought about Serena, but at the same time, I'm like, I have nothing for her.
It's not really much. I know, and we're gonna get comments on this where people's like, May's Japanese voice actress is not healthy and can't do that. But
Please
this is all hypothetical. But Serena and May getting to interact in battle would be highlight of contest for me. Because I would love to see like Delphox and Blaziken go off against each other. I'm like, yes.
I want them to have their own secret handshake.
Oh yeah. Serena's a Naruto now.
So, it's just a bunch of hand signs that they're just like, do you guys know what they're doing? No, just let them do this. We have to pad time. These are very long episodes. But I guess if we're talking, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of wanted Mega Evolution, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. It feels like an unfair advantage for anyone who doesn't have it. Like, obviously, we can see May having it, but like separating myself from the character. Do you guys ever think to yourself, you know who should have Mega Evolution? Ursula.
I
Like
think
it would just seem weird to start giving gimmicks to people. But hey,
we did it with the Masters 8. It's fine. We randomly assigned people gimmicks nonstop, and Iris got like a dragon mind as like a gimmick. So it's totally fine. I say that we give Drew Mega Evolution, and not for the Absol. Give it to Flygon, and then boom, reveal Mega Flygon.
I'm so upset that we never got Mega Flygon.
I know, it was a drop.
Yeah, and apparently it's because the person making them suffered artist block, and I'm not going to jump on them for that. But at the same time, I'm like, it's a little disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, I was also thinking, well, then you could also give some of the other aspects. So maybe some of them have snuck out with the Z crystals, so they incorporate some of the giant Z moves into their thing. And well,
Those
we
would
can't.
be beautiful in contest.
It would. The animation for those Z moves was incredible. Oh my god.
So this is something we haven't discussed yet. Where is this taking place? Because if it's taking place anywhere other than Galar, we can't give them Gigantamax or Dynamax as part of it.
Let's just say Galar. Let's give Galar something, because Lord knows Journey's didn't.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. But imagine Koharu, Chloe, however you want to refer to her, and her Eevee. Even if it didn't evolve, you give it a Z crystal, EVMZ. It gets to do that move. Ooh, the Evo boost. That'd be gorgeous.
She's just like, okay, use an attack. No, it's just a boost. It's good for stats and it looks pretty, but like it's not actually an attack. You knew that. You knew that, right? No?
She throws out Eevee with the Z crystal. It hits the Evo boost, gets all these boosts, and then she baton passes into Zacian.
So she just casually
I win every fight now.
It's just like, wait a minute, when did she get this? Oh, well, after Ash and Go saved the day. Hey, she caught one.
Yeah, she's been hanging around. She likes dogs.
Wait, so did like what did she? Oh, so she used like an Ultra Ball or a Max Ball? No, a Premier Ball. What?
Ooh.
A Premier Ball. I didn't even think those were canon. She's like, well, she caught a Zamenta, but she used the GS Ball. We're bringing the GS Ball. Why are we wasting this on Chloe at this one-off?
Okay, but if we're talking about the GS Ball, did you guys see this thing that they dropped with Roy? This special Pokeball?
I saw it, but I did not think much of it. I just thought it was the gimmick for Gen 9.
It's just very cool. It's just it's not in the game. I hope it comes into the game at some point because it looks like a Breath of the Wild Pokeball almost. It's very cool.
Yeah,
I love it.
I did think it looked super cool, but at the same time, I'm also thinking to myself, I'm cautiously optimistic going into the new season because Richard and I have talked before. Journeys was a rough ride for us. We were like,
I'm not a huge Journeys fan. I feel you.
This was good, but like,
it started out with so much potential in the first part where it was just Journeys, and we thought Chloe was going to start getting more story arc and development, and then that never happened. And Go kept catching Pokemon kind of randomly, and just nothing felt right.
Yeah, and also they make that horrible joke about Kling Klang's evolution, which I'll never forgive them for, but
that's revealed as a new Pokemon though in this contest.
Yeah.
Kling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Kling-a-ling-a-ling.
Oh, Jesus, please stop.
I am fine with Go catching all those Pokemon because I'm like, I see myself in that because I'm like, catch every Pokemon nonstop, build the living decks. Love that. That's like how I play Pokemon. But it was like once Ash crossed the top 100 trainers, it like all the potential went to the wayside. They were like, we're not going to use this for any reunions. We're not going to use it for any returning Pokemon. We're not going to use it to further Chloe at all. I'm like, you had so much opportunity. Like once he crossed the top 100, he could have easily said, oh, I need to step up my game. And so I'm going to bring in Charizard. I'm going to bring in Sceptile. You know what I mean?
I'm going to bring in Muck.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, bring in Kingler, our strong boy. But you know what I mean? Like he just didn't do that. I'm like, come on. And you could have like, it's an easy way to be like, oh, this Pokemon has a form. He has Pokemon here. He has Charizard Y. He has Gigantamax Kingler. Like, easy way to do that. And they did.
To be fair, that's why I said for the Masters 8, or I guess technically if he was in contest at this point, why your boy Morrison would have been perfect because he has all these Pokemon with newer forms right now. So it would have been like, it kind of works, but I feel like he would just be terrible at contests.
Okay, for people that don't know that are listening to this, I'm a huge Morrison fan. I love him. His team is great. Bring Morrison back. He should have battled Morrison.
I went back and rewatched Morrison's episodes, and Richard and I have always we've argued back and forth. We like Morrison, but Morrison, he could have showed up a little bit earlier. Just to
absolutely.
Get more stuff.
We didn't get enough of him.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, dang, I really like him based on the 6 episodes we get. I love this character.
He would have been a great Sawyer. And what Sawyer was in Kalos, we could have had that for him in the Battle Frontier stuff, and it would have been so good. Like someone that he keeps having to fight against, and like slowly revealing the team over time, showing them evolving. Like, man, missed opportunity because he was Ash. Like, and that's Sawyer was also like an inexperienced trainer in Kalos. I'm new to this. I'm learning from Ash, and that's the same way Morrison is like personality wise what Ash used to be.
Sawyer felt like Wally to me, like just the very inexperienced yet polite trainer with green hair who is awesome, but then just loses in the end.
I could see that. I could feel that. Wally would do good in the contest. But
I feel like he would be so nervous going into it. And people are just like, no, it's cool. It's cool. Richard, there's a video that we've been talking about doing, and I have to talk about Wally in it, but I'm scared to.
We'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, it's not the video you think it is. Just I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay.
And what would have been really cool to see?
What's up?
Some sort of contest in the Hisui region, those games, so we could see Hisui and Pokemon in contests. I would love that.
But very few people are there. It's just like Pokemon are still harming us. It's just like, yeah, but not these. They're all super nice.
They're beautiful.
Like Ray and Akari are doing contests because Akari's ancestors. I don't know. I still don't understand the point of they might be related to Lucas and Dawn, or they aren't. I don't know.
We could have had a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be actually a really interesting idea. Them trying to make the public of Jubilife City?
Yeah, Jubilife
Village like Pokemon more. They do these little contest kind of things.
Oh, God,
it's a paradox. Pokemon were never going to be domesticated in this region until they went back in time and showed people how to love Pokemon and catch Pokemon. And because that happened in the future, they knew how to do it and they took it back with them. It's a never-ending loop. It's a bootstrap paradox.
All right, Lucas, go back in time and fix this. Do I get to come back? We'll figure that out at some point, maybe. Probably
You'll come
not.
back eventually. You'll be reborn and then sent back again.
Oh, good. We'll just clone you. We have another one of those. You cloning? You know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Let's move on. But ultimately, we would have to include cameos of some kind, like people watching from home, like Norman, Caroline, and oddly enough, there was another guy whose name was Kenny, who was like the houseboy or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we could see Dawn's mom and I guess Professor Rowan and the assistants or whatever. Like, there should be a lot of people supporting them.
Yeah, give them. Make it feel like how the old battles for Ash used to be, where it feels like, hey, there's all these people watching, cheering Ash on through his journey, and then, well, we only see 3 of them in the new series.
You just see people. With signs. One that says Nando 316. We have a bunch of people. Heck, yes. You could have team yelling this, and Marnie's like, "I'm not, guys. I'm not competing. You don't have to do this. Just go home, read the magazine. I don't care."
But Marty's cheering for someone, so Team Yell's cheering for that one person.
Maybe it's Chloe, because Marnie's friends with Ash and Go for some reason based on that episode.
Man, if Lysander was a good person, he'd kill contests too.
I
He's
went back and watched that.
fabulous.
I'm like, oh, Lysander, he must have gotten up. Like they must have saved him. So I'm like, oh no, he's gone. Oh gosh.
Now he gone.
Somebody should have saved him, right? And they're just like, I mean, no, we're trying to save ourselves. Okay, I respect that.
They love doing that for all villains except for Giovanni, who they're like, he's fine.
Yeah. Heck, you could have a bunch of, as weird as it was at times, you could have just a bunch of random no name girls just supporting Drew and just wearing merchandise and stuff like that. And like usual, he's like, "Oh, I'm honored. Thanks." And he's, "Somebody help me, please."
It's the Gary Oak cheerleaders. They've returned.
Oh God.
Gary, he's our man.
This is like, oh, he's 10 years old. Y'all should back up.
Oh God, I just had an idea. It's the
Go for it.
it's the girl that Ash faced in the on the grass field in the original Kanto tournament. She had this whole cheer squad. I mean, it was guys, girls. It was her, like her whole town came out and cheered. It was really kind of funky looking, and when they cut to it, I see that being for someone there.
Oh God, I feel like nobody like there might be like one or two hecklers except Fernando, because he just plays his music and everyone's just like, were we supposed to be booing him? No, he's perfect. Because that happens. He almost got arrested that one episode thanks to Officer Jenny, and he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep playing my music. Just let me know when the episode's over.
There'd be so many Kanto people that would be so good in contests. When he said that, I realized that, like, because you were talking about Jeanette, right? The Bellsprout girl that you're talking about. Yeah, that's throwing bubbles around. Bellsprout would kill. Mandy, I think, was that guy's name with the Cedra and the Executor. Would kill. Oh, we need people from the Orange Islands in this. Oh, they had all the style. They throw out a pink Pokemon, a Crystal Onyx. So what?
It's just like, oh, where did we catch that? Oh, the Orange Islands. Where is that? The Orange Islands. Yeah, but where it?
Ignore it.
We're not getting anywhere with you guys today.
They could have so many. They could have the Valencia Pokemon. They could have the pink ones, the Crystal Onyx. Man,
no, I want one villain to have a giant Pikachu but when it gets attacked, it just collapses. It's the robot Pikachu from that amusement park after they crashed the St. Anne.
Yeah, the giant island Pokemon, yeah.
It's just like, you can't have giant robots in here. Are there any rules against it? Well, no.
I'm from Paldea.
It's just like, are there any rules against it? Well, of course, no. We're putting that in next year.
That's another Giovanni classic, where it's like, why was he involved in this? They were like, that was Giovanni's theme park that he was building.
But like, what, I always made fun of Team Rocket because whenever they say, let's give this Pokemon to the boss, it's never for like power or money. It's just always for stupid things. Like he can ride on a Dawn fan and put his luggage in the trunk. But maybe Giovanni's not nearly as serious as we give him credit for. Maybe he's just a 10-year-old.
Every picture of Giovanni on Bulbapedia is a treasure.
He's always jacked.
It's always the pictures that they use in their flashbacks. Like when they're like, oh, we could get the boss this and it would be so great.
and then when he turns out to hate the Pokemon, it's like, Meowth and friends will pay for this. And they're just like, you know what? Let's just seal it for ourselves if that even works. But ultimately, like here's the thing. Like in all, like dropping the facade, dropping the somewhat substantial hate, Drew and May, as much as I would like them to have a rematch, part of me kind of thinks to myself, they can interact, but they've had so many battles over the years. I kind of think to myself, do they have to face each other? And this is not me hating on Drew. This is just me legitimately.
No, I totally get what you're saying. That's totally fair. Like, do we want to see it again? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, classic Pokemon company, they'll probably be like, oh man, everyone wants to see this. We should have them fight someone else and lose in a really dumb way. Alon.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Drew wouldn't lose. Drew would make it very far. I don't think I would have him win, but we have to talk about that. Who do we want winning this thing?
Well, I think we both ended up putting the same person. So
who?
Well, you mentioned it earlier, and I think I said it, or I put it down on my list as Licia winning.
I did not. I had Alicia making it to the finals, but I hadn't decided yet if I wanted her winning.
I think I'm going May.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want May and Licia to be in the finals against each other, and that's where May kind of turns Licia around, like, "Hey, you're not fighting with your heart," and that's kind of when she does her little pose thing, the whatever it is.
Which, well, it's funny. We're 3 for 3 because I also said May and Lisi are in the finals.
Yes.
Even a
Put
broken
some
clock, I
respect on
guess.
May's name. Give her a Wallace Cup win.
Well,
She was robbed last time.
to be fair, like let's think about this. She lost in the first Grand Festival to Drew. She lost in the second Grand Festival to Soledad, and half that battle was off screen, and I'm still upset about it.
Soledad?
Oh, I forgot about Soledad. Wow.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
that makes sense. They didn't do much with her. And then she lost to Dawn in the Wallace Cup. So I'm like, okay, she's lost a lot. Please give her some. Please give her
Yeah,
a
and she
major win.
has a good squad around her. She's got a good team.
Yeah. Heck, I had her catching I don't know, a Lurantis. You guys know what I'm
Ooh,
talking
Lorenz.
about.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lorenz, right? Yeah.
I have no idea why. I think I was just throwing Pokemon together. I'm just like, May, Lurantis. Yeah, sure. And now I'm thinking, oh wait, no, I actually really like that idea.
No, yeah, it's a good one. I like that one. I can also see her with a like Lycanroc for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm kind of vibing with that.
Any particular form?
I would for her, I'd say midday. Even though
Mhm.
dusk is my favorite, but just midday
I
fits
love
her, you know?
Dusk.
Yeah, I think that fits best. It gives that because that one didn't get as much love as the Dusk and
Midnight,
Night
yeah.
Night forms. So
Yeah. Olivia had one, but like it didn't really do much.
Because Olivia, when every time she was on screen, it was mostly like, woohoo, Brock, or look at her Probo pass. It's vicious.
Or her saying to Ash and Lana, "Are you guys going on a fishing date?" And Lana freezing up for some reason. I'm just like, all right, this isn't the ship I thought we were gonna go with, but I've seen weirder stuff.
but any of the Alolan people actually show up for this? We didn't mention them earlier, but I just don't see.
I would want to see these two interact together, but they're never on screen together. I would kind of like the Masked Royal. He kind of has a flair for the dramatic.
And Master Royal and Kukui finally meet.
Exactly, because I'm very upset that they haven't battled each other. It genuinely frustrates me.
But Lily is where I'm at. Lily.
How far
Lily
would
with
she-
Magirna.
Oh my god, really? People just bring in legendaries and mythical Pokemon, and just nobody bats an eye at it. It's just like,
Hey,
yeah,
Ash and Gladion are allowed to have theirs, so this is fine.
oh god. We just see Ash and go, watching this, they're like, wait a minute, were you invited? No. That's weird. It's weird that Chloe wouldn't invite us. We always try to invite her, and we're like, no, you actually don't.
Yeah,
She's not in like half of the episodes, and I've counted. It's about less than half the episodes.
with no story arc.
Now, and people are like, but Chloe's cool. I'm like, I'm sure she is, but like, what do you do at this point?
Chloe's cool to you because of recency bias. I'll say that to anyone. You can fight me in the comments. Chloe's only cool to you because recency bias. When you look back 3 seasons from now, you're going to be like, what was the point of this character?
There are going to be so many people jumping into your Discord saying hashtag Chloe greater than Totodile, and you're never going to recover from it.
Incorrect. Totodile at least had character arc.
Mhm.
Beat Miltank.
Heck, you could see Ash's Totodile dancing while it's watching the contest. Honestly, I could see it getting into it.
Totodile beat Miltank, beat Whitney's Miltank, so it did what no one else could do.
Oh god.
Well, speaking of Totodile, just randomly shows up. It's been partnering with someone just because Ash just it seems to ignore it. So it's been traveling with some other trainer. It's not even captured by the trainer. It's just traveling with them, entering contests where it
That's-
dances.
That reminds me of that horrible episode of Honestly Enough Chronicles, where that kid was like, oh, well, I didn't want any of the Kanto stars, but I'll take Ash's Bulbasaur. And like, wait, so we're just going to leave the other Bulbasaur behind to get attacked by those wild Pokemon? And he's like, I'm like, this kid, I hate that kid. I don't really even remember his name, but I was very upset at that. He just randomly decided, no, let's just leave that Pokemon behind.
I know I keep bringing up the newest show, but they also confirmed that Roy is from Kanto, which is great. So I'm like, give him a Kanto starter with his Paldean starter. Squirtle.
I do like Squirtle. Then again, I'm one of the few people who picked Bulbasaur, and everybody laughed at me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's so terrible. I got through the first few gyms super easily, and by the time it evolved, I was set. But yeah, stick with Charmander. Let's see where that gets you.
Hey, there are no bad Kanto starters. All three are greats.
Kanto starters,
Legendary.
Johto starters are cool. Hoenn starters are great. For the most part, I like all the starters, and then I picked Poplio, and everybody laughed at me.
Hey. I was about to say, we are not going to. I love Poplio. I love Primarina, man. I'm a big
It's
fan.
Yeah,
Huge fan.
like Richard got Sun. You got Sun, right, Richard?
Yeah.
And I got Moon, and I got Poplio, and on the very first try, it was a female. I was like, oh.
That was mine, yeah.
Yeah, and there are people like, so you gonna trade? I'm like, nope, I don't trade starter. I don't trade my starter Pokemon. I don't do that.
No. I mean, there are some starter Pokemon that I'm not too cracked up about, but Primarina, I'm down with.
Technically,
Right.
Umbreon and Espeon are starters.
Hey, yeah.
Which
I love
reminds me,
Espeon, man.
Mirror B would be fantastic in contests.
Mirror B. Yes.
He just has a boombox that blasts his music.
No, but he's the host.
Oh, he's the third host. That'd be great.
I was either based on what you said, I thought you were saying like he's the guy like it's Mirror B. Hey, and we are here for the Wallace Cup. Not like it matters because you all came to see me, right? And I would honestly say, actually, that's actually why I'm here.
Yeah.
Well,
accurate.
that's what I was going with. That he pretty much his whole thing is that he's international pop sensation Mirror B.
Oh God. And his two henchmen are outside selling merchandise.
That would be so good. I know she's the champion, but Diantha would also probably slap some contests if that
I
was
feel like
allowed.
she would stick with Gardevoir, right?
Oh yeah, Gardevoir and Gourgeist could handle it. They got it.
Yeah. But ultimately, that's the thing. When we don't do the what if videos to be like, oh well, our ideas are the best. Some of our ideas might be legitimately bad. Not Espy. Espy's ideas are awesome, but I'm speaking
Thank you.
for me and Richard. But at the same time, I'm like, it's something different. And sure, like I said, not every episode of Chronicles is amazing. Not every contest is amazing because, dear Lord, some of them just made me sad. But we miss them, and it makes me sad. It's nice to know we all agree that May wins because, like, May wins.
That's what matters. I mean, these contests, say what you will, some are good, some are bad, but they also made me love some Pokemon that I would not have cared for otherwise. I wouldn't care about Glameow. I wouldn't care about Smoochum. Now we got these contests in, and I'm like, look at this Smoochum. I love this thing.
Heck, I even included, like, the way I was thinking is I just like because it gives stories to people. Heck, I said I wanted Jessie to get that Galar Pokemon Snom, and it evolves during the battle because it evolves with high friendship. And like, look, we kind of joke Jessie doesn't make it very far, but it would be nice to just remind people she's not, compared to James and Meowth, she's not the nicest, but she loves her Pokemon, and that can be symbolized with the Snom evolving.
Yes, absolutely. We need more friendship evolutions from Jessie.
Well, also, it would just be a Galar Pokemon, because, like, Journeys just didn't seem interested in that, I guess.
No, we had the Pelipper.
And then there was Jessie, she has Wobbuffet with her, but other than that, like James got Morpeko, Jessie didn't get anything this time. It's like, okay, great. So they're just going to use this random thing.
I really thought that we were going to get Cramorant for a second for Jessie, and then they didn't. I was like, that would have been so funny.
Especially since doesn't it have a Pikachu in its mouth at some point?
Yeah. I just thought it would be so funny.
Yeah.
Cramorant, like, just dumb, blank expression this whole time. Jessie being so mad about it.
Heck, it could,
comedy gold.
It could honestly have led to what happened with the Viper. It bites her, she gets out of it, but it tears her hair up, and yeah, that's when James and Meowth are like, "You're on your own, Cramorant," and then she physically attacks the Viper and caught it on her own, and I'm like, Yo, I've made fun of this girl before. I'm scared of Jessie.
This fight. I mean, we know she can show some compassion for her Pokemon. The way she cared for Mimikyu, that was nice.
Yeah. I can't get over that Dust Talks episode. I know she did the right thing, but I was bawling my eyes out. And along with Cacnea, along with Arbok and Weezing. Good God, it always happens to them, and I'm always sad.
James, like Trimeco was dying last time we saw it. He was like, "You stay here." I'm like, "This Pokemon is dying," and that's like, how they decided to write it off.
If we get a call back, and says, "Yeah, Chimeco didn't make it," I'm never watching the show again. And it's like, "Oh no, Chimeco's fine." Okay, we're good. That's all I care about. This episode.
I just need updates.
That's all I care about. Now, what's this episode about? Oh, Ash and Dawn get into a fight over some double battle or something like that. Oh, that's not nearly as interesting. I'm sorry.
No, don't want any of that. I just want James coming back with a fully evolved team.
Fully evolved, and then he goes to Paldea and he meets Arvin.
Yes,
and they both bond over their dog Pokemon.
I want him to have an Arcanine so bad.
Oh goodness, but okay. People aren't going to like this, are they?
Because James having an Arcanine?
Oh no, I just mean because I'm going to be honest. I feel like people want Serena to win, and jokes aside, Serena's awesome. She has a great character arc. I don't really care about the shipping stuff, but I do really like Serena. I don't see her doing well enough to win, but well enough to at least be like, wow, she's really good.
I just don't see her holding her own in battles against the people we've listed.
Yeah.
Like full-on battles, I just don't see her holding a candle.
So we know who the top two are. It's May and Licia, whoever in that order, pretty much. What about the runners up, pretty much the two that made it to the semifinals?
I kind of want May to beat Dawn to get her win back, but that's just an idea I was thinking about.
Okay, so Dawn, and then the fourth one, do we give that to Serena so it gives her that good look, or do we look at it somewhere else?
I'm gonna go bold and say Liko. She's the new contest. She's the new contest champ. She's brought in. She's already fourth.
Sure. What? No. Okay, I want that, but I want Ursula to be at 5, just like about to tear something in half. Like, are you serious? This newbie came in and did better than me somehow.
It's the Ash Ketchum effect. She's the new Ash Ketchum, which means that no matter what, she's just gonna do really, really well.
Ursula just storms off like, you know what? I'll be in my trailer. Come find me when the credits happen. We'll take the group photo. Whatever. I'm done for now. Ursula just constantly breaks the fourth wall. Just acknowledges this is a show. We're all actors.
Beautiful. I love it.
But is there anybody we didn't talk about because obviously we left out some rivals of the day, but I didn't want to throw in too many of them because then it's just like we're throwing in characters just to lose at this point just because.
Look at something real quick.
I mean, there's some good characters. People are probably gonna be upset that we didn't have Nando in it, like that. We had him appear, but like him not actually being in it.
Yeah, there are gonna be like 3 people upset that we didn't talk about Kenny that much, but I'm like, I've seen the fan base's reaction to Kenny, so maybe let him like not do it.
He comes in, insults Dawn like he always does, and then loses first round. So we're good there.
You said it, not me. So comment section, you know who said that, I guess.
Just saying.
I mean, am I wrong? That's what he does.
To be fair, I can't necessarily jump on you because I also said, if we bring Lucas into the anime, we don't need Kenny because like Diamond and Pearl had so many characters. I'm just like, we can cut some of them. We can just like, we'll send Kenny to the Shadow Realm or something. We'll be fine.
I like Nini too. Like I said, she made me like Smoochum a lot more. I didn't really care for Smoochum, and then Nini was like, "Look at this Smoochum," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, I really like that."
I remember little to nothing about Nini, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? If Serena's rivals going to contests as well makes sense, and it makes me it's all the more stranger we didn't include Miette.
Miette?
Miette's good, but I just like Mimi. She has Smoochum, she has Farfetch'd. I'm always down for Farfetch'd, man.
I was about to ask if she'd have Surfetch, but then again, that wouldn't really work because it's a completely different.
No. She would just have one of those cool Farfetch'd, like back in the Kanto days, that one guy that stole Pokeballs with his little Farfetch to just whip him into backpacks.
That was one of the episodes my dad and I always watched together. Or like,
Oh.
heck, I might tell him tomorrow, "Hey, let's watch this episode," and he'll be like, "Yeah, let's do it."
I love that episode. I like that episode a lot, and I love the Paris episode where it becomes Parasect.
Oh, that was one of my favorite episodes. It was one of the first episodes where Team Rocket actually showed, like, hey, we're cool. Like, we're good people.
The whole episode is so good. I like Team Rocket caring, and I like Charmeleon getting poked and then passing out.
Pikachu used Thunder Shock, but, like, make it really small. It zaps Paris and knocks it out. It's just like, what do we do with this?
It out. Dude, like, flies across the room.
What do we do at this point?
Like,
Hey,
tumbles.
Rare candies.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, heck. I'm proud of myself because I feel like I could have added just a whole variety of different game characters to this, and I kind of just had them on the sidelines watching. And like we see Brendan and Wally watching, they look at the camera. It's just like, are we supposed to be in this? No, but this is the most screen time we're ever gonna get. Just don't say anything.
Listen, if we're adding game characters, then she's technically Pokemon Chronicles 2, but Marina with Little Miss or Mischievous.
Right. Marina, or what is she? Chris in the games?
Chris, yeah.
It's so confused. It's so confusing to me.
Yeah, with Lyra and everything, it's very difficult. But she would be fun in contest because she has Little Miss and Wani at least, the crocodile.
And you mentioned Lyra, and she would still be calling Dawn Dane at this point.
Yeah.
Nobody decides to correct her on that, apparently.
No point. No need.
At least it's not from an insulting, with Kenny. So
at some point, we just find ways to just dump on Kenny in this, and I kind of respect it. But as I tried to say before, if you guys like Kenny, if you think he's great, that's fantastic. I hope you're happy enjoying him. None of us just had stories for him, except Richard, which is eliminate him in the first round.
No, that's not for me. You're lucky that I didn't give Tyson a storyline with his Puss in Boots.
What's wrong with Tyson?
Just imagine that as a contest Pokemon, like a little Puss in Boots meow. Yeah.
I would vote for him. I would vote for him at that point.
That's just flair, baby.
It's just like, well, the rest of you aren't dressing your Pokemon up, so I guess he wins.
His Meowth's a little Zorro, and it's great.
If we're just bringing in random people that were in the Sinnoh, then Tobias shows up randomly and just goes, "Well, I've got nothing but legendaries.
I've got nothing but legendaries. Hey, Ash, why don't you give these kids advice on how you beat me? Oh, that's right, you didn't. Does that
again?
I'm sorry. Did you want to get back at me and aiming to be a Pokemon master? Well, that's not happening. So, good luck."
I know, right? How would it name to be a master have we not had Tobias yet? We should have had Richie. We should have had Harrison. We should have had Tobias.
We should have had Morrison.
Yeah, Virgil. Bring all these people back.
Yeah, but Ash still somehow loses to Tobias. Hey, if he loses to Misty, I can believe him losing.
As I say, yeah, he just lost to Misty, so he's no longer the monarch.
At this point, I can believe Richard beating him at some point.
Man,
with a newly hatched Totodile.
Misty or her sisters would tear up contests with all their beautiful water Pokemon doing cool stuff and their like amazing outfits and their mermaid thing going on. Oof.
Heck, you can honestly, as much as I love Pokemon Masters, like the app, you could take some of their outfits and put them onto the characters. Like a month or two ago, Dawn had a contest outfit for, I don't remember the name of the Pokemon. It was no, that's not it. It was an Oricorio, the
oh yeah, the changing bird.
Which is why I thought, oh, maybe she could have that. I don't know, just as a callback to Pokemon Masters, and she could show up with it and apparently just leave Lucas and Barry behind because that's what the series likes to do apparently.
Pokemon Masters, that'd be so good to get like contest outfits from. That's genius. That's a big brain. Oh, Cynthia has an amazing like Sigma suit or whatever, Sigma suit.
Yeah. Heck. Every now and then I have a good idea. It's just like 12% of the time
That's
at
a big
best.
brain. That's big brain idea. 200 IQ.
What's up, Richard?
You mentioned what was it, Orikoyo? However
Yeah.
you pronounce it.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
That's right, Orikorio, yeah.
Yeah, but I could see Ursula having the I think it's the flamenco dancing one
Yeah.
as one of her new Pokemon as well, because
Uh,
it seems like a perfect one to add to this here for someone.
that honestly works for me. And she sees it dancing. She goes up against Dawn. She just starts furiously. It's basically just a dance off. There are no moves done. It's just like, I mean, I guess Dawn wins, but at the same time, nothing was accomplished in this. Oh gosh. I forgot the one thing about Dawn. As much as I love her, and I wanted her to do well, she got like third or fourth based on what we talked about. There is one thing I want. Remember in Dawn's contest battles, whenever somebody would attack her Pokemon, she'd tell her Pokemon to spin out of the way or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would have somebody shut that down immediately and be like, Dawn, you've used this in almost every single battle you've been in since we've seen you. Somebody had to stop that, because as much as I like that strategy, it got to the point where I'm like, you're just doing the same thing every single battle, just spitting out of the way.
You remember when Brock was in a contest with May and Eevee ran on Marshtom's hydro pump to
That's
kick it
right.
in the face?
And
Remember that?
But like 90% of the battle, Brock was dominating, and then
Yeah.
May's like, I win.
Yeah, the judges were like, "Yep, that makes sense." I'm like, "Yeah, just ran on the water."
And then it's because Brock did it to get with the girl, and the girl's like, actually, I'm gonna train this other girl. I'm like, he entered a contest for you, woman. Just go get a soda with him or something. I don't know.
Wild.
But we basically decided May wins. Any epilogue or anything after final words that they all say to each other besides see you in like 5 years when we do this again?
Do we want to actually have this end how the original should have ended, where they get a chance to compete against Wallace directly?
I feel like May would lose that.
But that's good. I like it. I like
sure.
Wallace staying powerful.
Sure. Yeah. Steven's in the crowd watching Wallace because they're like best friends or brothers or maybe something more. I don't know. I've never gotten their dynamic.
That's a confusing dynamic.
But yeah, I could see Wallace, but I feel like May would complete with her Blaziken.
I could see that. I think it would just be a nice little, hey, here's something else we're giving out this year because it wasn't in the last time.
You still get the ribbon, but you still have you still have to battle. Like, yeah, but what if I beat Wallace? We didn't prepare for that.
Then it becomes the May Cup, and you get a host next year.
The May Cup, yeah.
You get to host next year. You get your own section of the buffet, and she's like, I'm in. I'm in. No, you don't even have to call it the makeup, but just that. Specifically that.
Wallace is like, you freed me from my prison. Thank you. You've solved my riddle. Goodbye. And
it's just like, yeah. It's just like, yeah, good luck. Now you're in charge. Sucks to be you.
Then he turns to Steven and
take
goes,
on the curse.
I'm champion now, Steven.
I'm the champion now. Oh, we're doing this in the next arc. I'm like, wait, we're doing a battle arc? Yeah, talk about it right now. No, we promised. This is the Wallace Cup. We'll talk about that another time. I'm sorry. But do you guys have anything else? Because I love this arc, especially with May, Ursula, not Drew as much, but still, I'm happy. I'm happy with this.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it's just I think what they had with it at first is such a good idea as a way to bring in companions that normally wouldn't interact in this way and make them, and if they would have kept it annual, that would have been really an effective way to do that, but they did not do that.
Yeah. Heck, in Black and White, Dawn said, I'm going to compete in the Wallace Cup in Johto, and then we just never heard about it again. So
yep.
So either it never happened, or it was so bad that everybody involved just said, let's never talk about this again.
That's the one that May won.
That made me so sad if May won that one. It's just like, no, we're not talking about this. No.
Yeah, she won the Grand Festival in Johto. We just never learned about it.
I wanted to close this out because I thought we were all on good terms, but now I guess you guys just decide to hurt me.
End of show.
All right, so May wins, Drew doesn't. I'm happy. So, are we ready to close? And Licia looks good too and gets her own story. Anything else, or should we close out?
I think we're good to close out.
Yeah, go ahead and close it. Xenia comes in and wins last second. Go ahead.
All right. But anyway, it's in all honesty, Espy, it was great to have you on. Please support this guy, one of the most underrated yet hardworking Pokemon Poketubers on YouTube. His own podcast, his own channel, a whole slew of people he's interacted with. Please subscribe. Get him to the point where he is literally in charge of this fandom, because everybody else is good, but Espy is big brain energy. Seriously, dude, I've been excited for this. I'm happy you were able to join us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. It was awesome to be here. It was super fun. It was super nice getting to talk to you guys about, I like pulling things like this out, the Wallace Cup, and kind of having brain experiments on it. You guys definitely had some very, very good takes. Love it.
I really appreciate that. And if you guys want to support both of us, maybe we'll do another collab together, but I have honestly no idea what it would be about. I want to get you on for one of the movie ones, so
yes,
maybe people can finally understand why the ninth movie just it's not for me.
Movie talk. Listen, it's not for me either, and Manaphy is my favorite mythical Pokemon. It's not for me, so.
Yeah, and we can have a whole episode where one of us tries to convince the other person, is Drew good? And I can say, no, but like, to each their own, but no.
Let's convince the world of Morrison supremacy.
That I can do. If we do that, I will jump on the Totodile bandwagon.
There we go. Totodile.
Yeah, but in all honesty, Richard, do you have anything you want to say to Espy? Any compliments, suggestions, random insults at the end? Just anything?
No random insults, but thank you for being on. I really liked a lot of your ideas, and yeah, as you said, go Totodile.
There we go. Totodile.
Yeah, but in all honesty, this has been so much fun. So, ladies, gentlemen, and others, what do you guys want in a Wallace Cup? Honestly, it doesn't even have to be coordinators. It could just be characters you think would do well in contests, maybe even some characters you think would do horribly in contests, just for a laugh. Who would you want to see battle? Any Pokemon in particular? Just anything whatsoever.
Exactly. I mean, and what do you think of our strange changing of all the judges and host and all that for this as well?
Mirror Beast supremacy, that's all I'm gonna say.
There we go.
Yeah. And who would you want to win? And it doesn't have to be May, it could be anybody. It could have been Drew, it could have been Ursula, it could have been Morrison, and honestly we could have found a way to live with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, let us know. You guys have been great. Like, comment, and subscribe. We love you guys, and we'll see you next time. This has been Alex.
And Richard.
And Espy.
And you have been listening to Anime Egotists. Good night. Peace easy.